Hey everyone, welcome back. You ready to dive in? Today we're tackling something super fascinating, something we all do, or at least we should be doing sleep. I gotta admit, researching for this deep dive, using your 7 life-changing sleep tips, by the way, totally changed how I think about hitting the hay.
It's funny how we often just think of sleep as this passive thing our bodies do, but it's so much more dynamic and honestly crucial for living a good life.
It's like way more than just resting, right?
Absolutely. It impacts everything, our physical health, mental well being. It even affects how we think and feel. And guess what? It's all happening while we're supposedly out for the count.
Okay, I'm hooked already. So spill the beans. Why is sleep so important?
Well, think of it as the bedrock, the foundation for a productive day, healthy mind, you name it. Whether you're prepping for a big presentation, trying to stay sharp for a meeting, or just want to feel your best, sleep is non-negotiable. It's the key, really.
All right, you've convinced me. Enough sleep equals a better me. But like, how? What's actually happening in our brains while we're snoozing?
Okay, so picture this. Your brain is like a super efficient cleaning crew that only comes out at night. During deep sleep, it's busy clearing out all the toxins that have built up throughout the day. It's like a nightly detox.
A brain detox. That's kind of cool. But seriously, what happens if we skip a few hours here and there? We've all pulled all-nighters, right?
Sure, we've all been there, but imagine never taking out the trash. It just piles up, gets nasty, starts affecting everything around it, right? Same with our brains. If you constantly skip sleep, those toxins just keep accumulating. And over time, that can lead to some serious health problems.
Okay, so like what kind of problems?
We're talking heart disease, diabetes, even Alzheimer's. Scary stuff.
Wow, okay, that's definitely motivation to prioritize sleep. So enough sleep helps us dodge some serious health bullets down the road. But what about the here and now? What about those immediate benefits?
There are tons. For starters, sleep is like a super boost for our memory. While we sleep, our brains are hard at work, sifting through all the information we've taken in during the day, deciding what to keep and what to toss. It's like a librarian organizing all the books, making sure the important ones are easy to find.
So when I'm struggling with a problem and then suddenly remember the solution the next morning, it's because my brain was actually working on it while I was asleep.
You got it. And on the flip side, when we don't get enough sleep, this whole process gets messed up. It becomes way harder to learn new things, remember information, and just think clearly.
That explains a lot. Okay, I'm sold. Good sleep equals a sharper, better functioning brain. And speaking of good sleep, one of the tips you mentioned is something called sleep restriction therapy. Sounds a bit counterintuitive. How does that work exactly?
It might sound odd, but hear me out. With sleep restriction therapy, you actually limit the time you spend in bed initially. It seems weird, but it helps make your sleep more solid, more efficient, and it boosts the overall quality. It's often used to help people with insomnia and other sleep issues.
So less time in bed actually leads to better sleep. Fascinating. It also makes me think about all the time we spend glued to our screens before bed. Is all screen time bad? Like, what if I'm reading an ebook on my Kindle? Is that just as bad?
It's a good question. Here's the thing. The blue light that comes from our screens, whether it's a phone, a laptop, even an e-reader, it messes with our melatonin production. And melatonin is that crucial hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle.
Ah, it explains the whole scrolling through social media until 2 a.m. and then wondering why I can't fall asleep thing. Guilty as charged.
Pretty much. So even if you're just chilling with a Kindle, best to put it down at least an hour before bed. Maybe switch to a good old-fashioned paper book, do some meditation, anything relaxing that doesn't involve a screen.
Solid advice. That one change alone could make a world of difference. So besides ditching the screens, what are some other game changers when it comes to improving sleep quality?
Consistency is key. Our bodies thrives on routine, so try to hit the hay and wake up around the same time every day. Even on weekends, try not to stray too far from your schedule. And another big one is creating a calming bedtime routine. This signals to your body that it's time to wind down.
Like a little pre-sleep ritual.
Exactly. A warm bath, some light reading, calming music, whatever helps you relax. It's about creating those positive sleep associations.
Love that. Speaking of positive things, let's talk dreams. They've always fascinated me. What's their role in this whole sleep equation?
Ah, dreams. They're still a bit of a mystery, even to scientists, but we do know they're not just random images flashing through our minds. Studies suggest that dreams actually help us process emotions, consolidate memories, and get those creative juices flowing.
So there's actually a reason why I sometimes wake up with a brilliant idea after a crazy dream. It's not just a coincidence.
Not at all. During REM sleep, the stage when we dream most vividly, our brains are making all sorts of unique connections and associations that we probably wouldn't make while we're awake.
So it's like our brains are off on a wild adventure, exploring all these possibilities without the limits of logic or reality.
Exactly. And sometimes those unexpected connections can lead to those aha moments, those creative breakthroughs or insights that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
That's incredible. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from brain detox to dream adventures. Sleep is way more fascinating than I ever imagined. But if you had to boil it all down, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember about the power of sleep?
Sleep is an investment. It's an investment in your health, your well-being, your creativity, your relationships. It's not a luxury. It's not something to squeeze in when you have time. Prioritizing sleep is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Period.
Couldn't said it better myself. You've given us a lot to think about today, and for our listeners who are ready to make sleep a priority, I have one question. What small change can you make tonight to get a better night's rest? Maybe it's setting that phone aside an hour earlier, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, or even just committing to a consistent sleep schedule. Sweet dreams, everyone.